Welcome to the Carr Brothers with Jeff, Jack, and Jody Carr. They talk about current events, politics, community, and business. Take it away, boys.
Hi there, welcome to the Carr Brothers Show. It's episode 156. I'm Jack.
And I'm Jeff. And unfortunately, Jody couldn't be here today. He is working out of town again this week, but he will be back next week, we hope.
Yes, a busy lawyer. So, yes.
Busy lawyer.
We can't wait to have him back. So, he sends his regrets. Our show tonight is about a celebrating of a small business in Fredericton. Tony's Music Box closed its doors after 50 years, and in celebration on Friday, January the 23rd, there'll be a huge tribute show at the Fredericton Playhouse, and we're so pleased to be welcomed with Mike George, the owner of Tony's Music Box, and Norm Couturier here as well. So thanks very much, Norm. You're the organizer of the tribute, longtime musician as well in Fredericton. Thanks to you both for coming.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So let's talk about Tony's 50 years, a huge icon in the community. It's called Celebrating a Community Icon at the tribute show at the Playhouse. And Mike, how did this decision come to be, I guess, after 50 years?
For closing the store?
Yes.
A lot of it was to do with challenging times,
Right.
economics.
Yeah.
We weren't getting the same traffic flow that we used to.
Right.
So the bottom line was being affected.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the challenge, I guess. Many businesses probably as well, and equipment and music and instruments
That's
and
right.
downtown as well. Different issues that way, and so it must have been a tough decision.
Huge.
Yeah.
It was very emotional.
I bet, and still is.
The day that I had to address that with our staff is a horrible morning,
I bet.
and it had tears with it.
Yeah.
It was very emotional, like I say.
Well, and you basically the staff. You've had something like you were telling me beforehand, 60 different staff members.
Over the duration of 50 years, about 60 staff.
Wow.
Absolutely.
And so it becomes family, doesn't it? And also
They are family.
the music community is family too. So.
100%.
Mm.
Dear to my heart.
Wow.
Always.
Yeah. So that's tough, and you've received what sort of response have you received from the community?
Very positive, overwhelming,
Yeah.
heartfelt love and support, including from this wonderful man, Norm Couturier. But the outpouring of phone calls and store visits and cards and gifts and emails and texts is remarkable, and very heartfelt, and very well received and very touching.
Well, I remember, a couple nights ago, could have been a couple nights ago. I'm trying to think what night I asked you to come on the show, and you said, "Oh, thanks," and I said, "No, thank you, for all that you've done for me. Tony's did for me as more as an organizer, especially from the mid '90s to in the 2000s of organizing variety shows and community events and hosting different things, putting on events, all those years of coming and mostly renting, equipment.
Sure. Yes.
Especially back, when trying to put on shows it's one thing to do it for nonprofit, charity and things, but when you try to do things for profit, it's tougher. And, great service and also, some discounts to help a guy out, especially, myself at the time, a young guy trying to put on shows. So I really, really appreciate it. It means a lot to me of always being there and being a great support and encouragement as well. So
Well, it means a lot to me that you did business with me.
yeah.
Thank you very much,
Yeah,
Jack.
well, my only guitar I've ever purchased for me was from Tony's back in,
I like it.
must have been 1995. I just got done radio broadcasting school and moved back to Fredericton. And it was an Art Lutherie guitar that Tony's sold.
Absolutely.
And so
Nice Canadian-made guitar.
yes, and I still have it. So
Fantastic.
and then Norm Couturier, you've taken on the project of organizing, being the main organizer of the tribute show.
Yeah,
Like that's a huge undertaking. How'd that come to be? Like, how did you?
It started. I mean, as the store closed down, I'm an entrepreneur for the last almost 40 years now. I've run tech companies forever, never had a real job, and but when the announcement came, I spent a lot of time over at the store just chatting with Mike, one business owner to another business owner. And when it closed, I remember going home and having dinner with my wife, and I saw the Facebook posts and all the well wishes and the congratulations on your retirement and so on. I thought, man, no. That's not right.
Mm-hmm.
That's not at all.
Not enough.
I said, this wasn't a store that closed in town. This was a community icon. I remember saying those words to my wife. I said, that's a community icon. That was the center point of the cultural ground zero of this town for the last 50 years, bar none.
Right.
I'll argue with anybody on that point. So I said, that's gone. I said, it doesn't deserve a bunch of well wishes on Facebook. I said, it deserves to go out with a bang. So I said, let's go celebrate the community icon. And my wife looks at me with that look and the hand over the eyes. She goes, because she knows what I'm about. When
you're in, you're all in.
When I start an idea with "Can you imagine," and the hands go out, then it's like, what are we into now? But it started out as let's get a bunch of people together at an event and let's bring musicians together, because I said there was a bunch of pent up desire to give back, not to be part of something, but to give back. And I said, if I just created the opportunity, people would come.
Right.
It's like the old Kevin Costner Field of Dreams thing. If you build it, they will come. I started out thinking it would be a Charlotte Street Art Center. Then I started thinking, well, maybe it's bigger than that. And then within 24 hours, I said, nope, I'm going to book the Playhouse as long as I have a date. And Mike is going to be in town. So I remember calling the Playhouse. I said, book me the date. Here's your deposit. And I called Mike. I said, can you be in town on the 23rd? I got a few people coming to get together.
Yes.
And that's how it started. And I said, as long as I have the guest of honor and I have a venue and a date, everything else will come together.
Yeah, you just knew, right?
I just started making calls, and it went from being an event to I'll call it an epic event. We've got 11 bands performing. We've got over 50 musicians involved. We got 10 speakers from all over the place. We've even put together a band. We're doing a custom grand finale in the show with a bunch of the A-lister musicians, all from Fredericton. And when I reached out to people thinking, can I get a few people to show up? I always call, it's like I'm asking a favor. Hey, would you mind? And I had put this ad on Facebook to book the event. I said, I need to at least put it there so other people know that there's something going on that day. I don't think it was 2 hours later, the flood of messages coming in off Facebook and messages from people I didn't even know, I knew of, but musicians, with these long, heartfelt stories about how Tony's changed my career, got me into being a professional musician, changed my life kind of stuff. And I thought, wow, I've lit the fire.
Yeah.
It's just...
Did you ever?
And it wouldn't stop coming in. I was telling Mike the other day, I could have made 2 nights of this show. I had to tell people no, because I physically could not squeeze any more people and stuff into this.
Wow.
The response was just overwhelming. It's a great term. It's just been absolutely incredible.
And I mean, obviously the highlight's going to be Friday, January 23rd, the night of the tribute. But I could only imagine it's been quite a ride. Even when you first said, can you only imagine about having the show, like all the different things you've experienced.
The people that the people that I've gotten to meet and the outpouring of support that's been incredible in itself. Just that alone. The stories that people would tell me. Back in the 80s, I was just trying to get by, and I went into Tony's, and I met Tony, and I couldn't afford to buy the instrument. And he said, what have you got now? And they sent me home with everything I needed, because they knew I had that vision, that passion to want to be, and my inability to pay for everything today wasn't going to be the stop of that. And then it was just like, pay me what you can, when you can, we'll all work it all out. And what you guys built, from your dad on down, and even with you, is you built customers for life, family. And it wasn't about, you bought some stuff from me.
Right.
It was about, I need to help you. I'd like to help you get your music career off to a start, whether it be a professional career or a backyard barbecue start. You have a path and a passion. Here, let's help fuel that. And then, you'll buy some stuff. Whatever. There's stuff. You want to buy some stuff on the wall, go ahead. But that's what it was. All the purpose was always right. But the stories of people and the impact, it was. I just couldn't believe it. I'm showing my wife, look, this is another one. This is another one, and another one, and it never stops. to this day, yesterday, I still had people reaching out to me. You have no idea what Tony's did for me back in the 90s, back in the 80s.
And like you say, it's been anonymous for so long. Like you wouldn't know most of them.
No,
Just
a
people
lot.
that
Yeah.
the family have helped
Yeah.
over time, and you didn't care what their
Absolutely.
backgrounds were, who they were, if they had the passion
Yes.
and the vision to want to be,
Well-
in music at some level.
Yeah.
The support was there, which
Oh,
is so
you
important
know it.
Yeah.
You know it.
for
And
young
I
people.
heard so many of those kind of stories being in the store, not just
Yeah.
during the closing period, but
Throughout
all the years that I've been in the store. I mean, when I was a teenager, I might not have heard them as much,
Yes.
or I don't recall that.
Mhm.
Right.
But in my 20s, 30s, and 40s, I'm 63 now. I mean, for years, people just coming in when business was good, but they tell me the opportunities that my dad provided for them. And I'm saying, you guys are the ones that gave us
Provided.
opportunity to have a life. I mean, Dad's passion was to have a music store at some point,
Yeah.
being a musician that he was. And he did that. And with my mom, they worked well together. But all these stories, it's like, you did us a favor.
Yeah.
You shopped at Tony's Music Box and provided us an opportunity to run a music store.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So you did us the favor.
Wow.
We didn't do you the favor, but
Very
we're
reciprocal.
very grateful for those kind of
reciprocal, yes.
responses.
Well, isn't that Jeff hit it on the nail there with reciprocal?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's reciprocal,
That's
right?
the formula.
It is the formula that makes it work. Two sides that have that passion and just keeps feeding one another. And
Yeah.
Yes.
gave
you're
you
right.
an opportunity to live and pay the bills and
Exactly, Jeff.
provide that opportunity, but it also gave people an opportunity to reach towards a dream of at whatever level they wanted to. So you get
Exactly.
a sense that Friday night's going to be pretty popular, obviously. Do people just show up at the door, or they reserve seats, or how's that going to work?
Yeah, so the Playhouse has an interesting ticketing ability. They have this pay what you can ticketing.
okay.
And instead of setting a price on the ticket, you just say you book it on the website,
Right.
on the online box office like you normally would, but you don't pay for it until you get there. And the idea is
Right.
it's to allow shows or acts that maybe don't have a following to present themselves, and people pay what they think the show is worth. So I said, let's set that up. This is a community event. This
But
is
at
not
the same time, they don't oversell, and let's say twice as many people come.
well, yeah, exactly. It's not a Walmart
get
door
disappointed,
crasher.
right.
Yeah, everybody's got a seat with their name on it.
So
because
get
they
online and book your space.
You
and
book your
pay what you
space.
can when you get there.
Pay what you can when you get there.
But the exciting news, how long did it take to sell out? It's the seats are sold
About
out now.
4 days.
Wow.
Well, and I'll say when there's 2 balcony rows left,
Yes.
I call that sold out.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
that happened about 2 days,
Wow.
and it was just nuts. And then there was a wait list, and then there's been a wait list since. And the other thing I get a lot of messages about on a daily basis is, are there any seats left? Can you put me on a list? Is there a special list? Is there a VIP list? Can you do me a favor? Can I get in?
No favors.
But the place was full, and I thought, wow, that was the right place to book, and because people knew what it was about.
Yeah.
It wasn't about going to see a band. It wasn't about going to see 5 bands.
No.
It was about going to pay tribute to a place that people wanted to pay tribute to. They didn't come because it's free.
No.
Right.
No.
They came because it's the right purpose, the cause.
So Mike, your dad started Tony's Music Box. You were 13. I'm just kind of
Roughly.
doing the math
Yeah.
there, about 13.
That's right.
And did you start working part-time there?
Very part-time
yeah.
at 13.
Yes,
so the
exactly.
store started, if anyone knows where G.E. George's Clothing and Footwear was.
Yeah, down the
We're
road.
Sort of across from where the police station is
Yep.
now. That was ground level.
Okay.
Norm and I had this conversation the other day. So
Yeah.
briefly, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but so Dad grew up on the second floor of that building.
Oh, really? Okay.
So his mom and dad,
Yeah.
and he and his 6 other siblings. And then his dad passed away when dad was 15, and
Yeah.
oldest brother Louis took over G.E. George's Clothing and Footwear. So anyone that darkened those doors would see Louis for the most part. Anyway, moving years along, that second floor, nobody's living there. So Dad and Mom started the business. In its larger form on that floor, but oddly enough, Dad being a drummer back in the day, he was also a school teacher. And he worked for Louis, some of that.
Right.
Some of those like part-time. So he would buy some cymbals, maybe some drum heads, some drumsticks, and put them on display in Louis' shoe window.
Okay.
And people knew Dad. He was a popular guy back in the day as a drummer. So that's kind of where it started. It eventually moved to the 3rd floor, the floor above where Dad grew up, for a short period of time. And then he put it on the 2nd level. And it ran there for 2 years. So in that 2 years, the first year I barely would have worked there. The second year, still kind of barely, but a little bit. And then where we moved, so that was 324 Queen Street, where everyone knew us to be mostly. It was 396 Queen Street. That spot, I was in my grade 9th year at age 14, going to George Street Middle School. And after school on Thursday and Friday nights and all day Saturdays, I would work at the store. So that was my part-time. I would work there Christmas holidays if I wasn't snow skiing, or March break for the same thing. And summers, I would work there full-time.
Right.
So from age 14 right up through my graduating year at high school, and I went to university a couple of years, so did the same kind of scheduling through that. So at age 19, when I finished my second university, I became full-time at the store.
That's, you were there pretty much from the beginning then.
Had a lot of passion for gear, loved electronics and keyboards. I wasn't a piano player so much. There was a piano in our house that my mom grew up with. I might have dabbled on it, but I wasn't a player. My younger sister, Lisa, she took piano lessons and even taught piano lessons on that piano in that house that we grew up in. But just being in the store, and again, it just became a love for electronic gear, synthesizers and different keyboards and drum machines and sequencers. And today it's all computerized. For the moment, you still have synthesizers and whatnot. But just spent a lot of time doing that and stayed in the store. Well, I might go home for supper, and then I might come back to the store and did this a lot. I'll come back in at 7, 8 o'clock at night, might not leave until 1 or 2 in the morning. Just immersing myself in gear.
Wow.
Norm loves gear.
Yes.
So did that, and then it was a store that people learned that if you need to know about, and I mean, I say this humbly, I mean, because I did that as a passion. I loved it so I could
Share
be
with
informative.
others.
Right.
And so we had a place when customers from abroad, not necessarily just in Fredericton, I mean, not from Toronto, but Fredericton surrounding area, and people started learning that, hey, Tony's has staff that can help in this category or in this category or in this category, and so on and so on. And it was a place that we prided ourselves on providing quality product and knowledgeable staff to inform our customers properly on their journey.
Wow. Well, we'll talk about that and much more. Hey, Jeff, talking about the 50 years celebration of Tony's Music Box, which is now closed in Fredericton, downtown Fredericton, and a huge tribute coming up on Friday, January the 23rd. 50 years celebrating a community icon. And we're going to talk about the tribute show, the guests that'll be there, a bit of a waiting list that's formed because it is sold out, and also some lessons learned and some highlights during those 50 years as well with Mike George and Norm Couturier. We'll be back right after this on the Carr Brothers Show. Hi there. Welcome back to the Carr Brothers Show. It's episode 156. I'm Jack.
And I'm Jeff. And as I said before, Jody is away this week, and he sends his regrets. But we really want to thank you for joining us on CHCO, our Facebook Live, our YouTube channel, and all the podcasting providers and platforms that you can find us on. So thank you for being here again. I have Mike George here and Norm Couturier to tell us some stories about Tony's Music Box and how the history of that has gone. And Jack, we've had a great discussion so far on a little bit of the history, some about the tribute, but we want to delve into that a little bit further.
Well, it's hard enough to have a small business last 5 years, let alone 50. And we've just really enjoyed our conversation, and to celebrate 50 years, a business that's been huge stamp and establishment in the city of Fredericton and greater Fredericton and New Brunswick. Norm, you've organized a tribute show at the Fredericton Playhouse called Celebrating a Community Icon, and you talked some about it in the first segment. But how about you chat about it? It's sold out with you've got a backup list of cancellation list, and there might be people that book their spot and they won't show up for whatever reason, things that happen. So, but how about you chat about some of the performers and what else can be expected that night?
Yeah, for sure. When I started out with the show, I said, all right, people are going to come there. They all want to come and pay tribute back to Tony's that gave them so much. And so there's just a bunch of love, community love there, right? They just want to be there, be part of it. Get the handshake and the hug, because those are classic.
Oh,
so
it's part of the DNA.
That's right.
Tony's Music Box.
It is.
So I said, who are all the people that have been positively impacted by Tony's? Let's go through some of the artists I know, musicians I've known. So I just started reaching out to people I knew and said, hey, I'm doing this tribute. If you got a connection to Tony's, I think you might. I would be honored if you come over and play a song on the show. Oh my God, I can't believe you called me. Well, I met. Tony's got me started, and we get off on these big long chats. And some folks I hadn't had an opportunity to chat with for a long time.
Right.
Some of them I had never even officially met before, and you just connect like your old friends. It's amazing how the music community, the local music community here. It's like your old friends that have never met. And as soon as you get talking, you just, I
never missed a beat, no pun intended.
I called up John Fiddler one day because he had messaged me about that. Say, wow, I can't believe you're putting on this event. What a great thing to do. So I said, well, John, I said, I've seen you 100 times when you ran your salon in King's Place forever. And I used to walk by you all the time. I knew you were a professional musician. I never even had a chance to say hi to you. So I call him up, let's go have coffee. Well, 2.5 hours later, we walk out of the coffee shop like we now know everything about each other and our history. And we couldn't believe that the time went by so fast. Mm-hmm. So those types of connections, then you find out the connection that he had. And it went on and on and on. I messaged Tristan Horncastle because I know Tristan had impact. I bought one of Tristan's guitars on the wall over top of Mike's head in the store one day on the rim because he saw my eyes make contact with it while we were buying another expensive Taylor guitar for my wife. And Mike says, oh, you should probably have that one too.
Why stop at one?
Yeah, it worked. It always worked. It always worked with Mike. Mike could tell the gleaming eyes. Says, I know you're looking at that over there, aren't you?
Yeah.
You probably should have that. And a lot of stuff left your store into my car because of it.
Did it ever? Thank you very much.
But I reached out to Tristan and he's like, oh man, I'd be honored. Oh yeah, awesome. And then we get chatting and so on. And we talked. It was funny with the Tristan Horncastle story. I got to tell this one. I mean, he and I were talking. He said, "What would be really cool?" He says, "I'm building another studio at my place, and what would be really neat is to have one of the signs off the front of the store as a heritage piece. I'd love to have that in my studio." Well, not an hour before, I was on the phone with Mike saying, "I'm going to take one of the signs off your store because I want to keep it as a heritage piece. I want to have it at this event because wouldn't it be cool?"
Great backdrop, yeah.
So I tell Tristan, I said, "Hey, Tristan, if you want to come with me, take this sign off the store." I said, we'll use it for the show, and it'll go to your studio. Well, he thought that was the greatest idea. Yeah. So here's Tristan Horncastle and I on Queen Street up with the cordless drills and the sign off the store.
It was remarkable.
And we're yakking like we're best buddies. We've come across each other, but, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Mm-hmm. And so it's that sort of connection has just been established. Ross Nielsen, blues player.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. Came out of Fredericton, worked at Tony's for a while.
At the store.
I recorded him in my studio back in 2000.
Oh, wow.
He was with Naked Days, a band that they had. And then he came out, started a solo career, did very well. He ended up at Saskatoon. And so he messages me. And then we end up, since then, we've been on 3 different video chats at about 1.5 hours to 2 hours each.
Wow.
Just reconnecting like, where did the time go?
Yeah, like it never stopped.
Like it never stopped, and we're trading gear stories, and that's been fantastic. I told my wife, I said it's been very busy putting this on because of all the different the performers and speakers between each. but it's been so rewarding just to have those conversations.
So is Ross playing on the show, or is he giving a special appearance?
Yeah, special appearance. So
Nice.
so yeah, good that you mentioned that, because there were some artists that just couldn't make it for whatever reason. So I said, well, there's got to be a way for them to say their piece and say their, hey, thanks. I said, well, what if I was to give you an opportunity for a couple of minutes to address Mike right in the crowd, say, well, if you had a microphone in front of you, you're on stage looking at Mike, what would you say? And, I would say this. I said, good. Well, we're going to record that, take a video of that, and we're going to play those. So the whole night goes like, think of it as a play where, you've got a speaking segment for a couple of minutes, then a performing act comes on for 5 or 6 minutes, and then another speaker comes on while the next performer's getting ready behind them on the stage. It's open curtain. The full stage is already set up, so the performers are crawling into their positions while somebody's speaking out front. So it becomes a never-ending cycle of performer, speaker, performer, speaker, performer, speaker, for 2 parts of the evening with a little bit of intermission in between. Yeah. For all of those of us who can't last more than an hour in a seat, for obvious reasons.
Have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly. So and that's really what the evening is. And then the videos are cropped in here and there. David Miles, our MP, he wanted to be there badly, but of course,
scheduling.
Parliament scheduling has him on an airplane coming back to Fredericton the next morning.
Right.
So,
and no guarantee he'll be on time.
Well, exactly.
So you have Dave Miles.
So he'll be giving a tribute over video, which I recorded with him at his office a few days ago.
Nice.
Oh,
cool. Another fantastic individual. Man,
giving.
Yes.
Matt Anderson, he'll be making an appearance.
Potentially, we're still waiting on his.
Okay.
And Matt Minglewood gave us one here just a couple of days ago, so just received that,
Well, then some of the performers. You mentioned Tristan already, which is amazing.
So folks I just keep going through a list of salt of the earth people, like Mike Bravner.
Yes.
Same thing. I didn't know Mike. I've seen Mike at so many events. He's a busy person. Mm-hmm. Wow.
He's not slowing down.
And he's busy giving to the benefit of others in pretty much everything that he does. What an incredible human being that guy is.
That's right.
So I had the opportunity to meet him, and I was going through the event. He goes, wow, what can I do? And then I said, well, you can play. Oh, that would be great. So he's performing not only once, but later on in our grand finale number, which I'll get to in a minute. Mm-hmm. But and then I reached out to his son Josh Bravner, who leads up the Hypochondriacs. They were in like awesome. 2 seconds, and then Joel Manchester over at he heads up Run the River. So that's another Americana style band, and the local same thing. They couldn't wait to be involved. Connor Fox.
Yeah,
I saw a beautiful tribute on Facebook from Connor talking about the all the things that Tony's had done for him. So I reached out to him, and it was like immediate. Oh, yes, I would be honored. I said, well, I'd be honored to have you. So it was mutual. He couldn't wait to be part of giving back. And Mike and I had a great conversation about Connor and his dad just a few days ago. Just fantastic.
Yeah, Connor's probably been going into the store since he was hardly able to walk.
10, 12.
Like 10 years
Even
old,
with
roughly?
his dad, with Shane. Like
10, 11.
Yeah. Shane's got lots of photos on Facebook of him being in there as a youngster.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally.
Shane and I grew up together in Gary.
Yeah. It's fantastic. And then we've got like Troy McLagan and Dave Palmer. So Troy, a phenomenal person and phenomenal guitar player. I'm going to stop saying phenomenal because it just applies to pretty much everybody on this list. And Dave Palmer, the repair master of repairs and everything electronic. It's a guru. He's a guru. So they'll be together playing. My Black Ram playing. So Peter Hicks and then Jason Sonia on drums. Worked at Tony's. We'll right to the very end. So he's good there. And Kathy Hutch.
Oh yeah, Kathy
coming
Hutch.
up from St. Andrews to play. She was happy. Oh, happy is understatement to be involved. Kathy played at Mike's wedding.
Great connection. With
Yes.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, so
there's my wife from Kimberly.
She bought her first guitar from you in 1975, she told me.
She went upstairs and got it.
That was 50 years
all
ago.
All the stories of upstairs.
Yeah. Craziness.
Wow.
And she was telling me that. I said, wow. I said, that's a connection.
And a great drummer, too.
Well,
yes.
She's a great drummer.
And she can play any song.
She feels music.
Yeah.
She feels it. She executes so well.
Yeah.
Wow.
AKA is another one. So Carl Gans, fantastic drummer.
Carr.
great guy.
Yes.
John
You know,
Clayton
Pat
on-
Hawks, John Clayton on the keyboards.
Yeah.
I've played with John in the band
Ralph
before.
Atkinson on guitar.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they'll be playing also. It's just crazy.
Well, what
Quite
a
a lineup
Yeah.
you got going on.
We'll be
Quite a
playing there
lineup.
too.
And
That's
Norm's,
right, that's
see,
right.
Norm's
Yes,
band,
forget overwhelmed.
Norm's band overrun. I know, we forget about
So it's
everything
funny.
else going on.
I put on this
What
epic-
about me?
Yeah, I put on this epic show, and I've got this whole lineup. I'm showing these people this lineup, and my wife says, "Aren't you playing?" I said,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I forgot all about that. I said, "It's not about me." I said, "So."
Well, I even mentioned that when you
Well,
called me
yes,
about it.
Mike says, well, at
or
least I'll
you
get to hear
emailed me
your band.
first, but then
Yeah.
when we spoke on the phone about the event,
Yeah.
I said, great, I get to watch you perform. And I don't know if your exact answer was, I don't know if you even thought you were going to play or not.
No,
You might or whatever. You said you might see me.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
like that.
Well,
I
I
don't
hope
know.
so.
I said, if there's a spot left after I
Right.
fill it all up. So,
Yeah.
so Mike says, well, at least I get to hear the band play. So I thought, all right,
Yes.
we'll do a song.
well, that's
Wow.
that's a phenomenal lineup. But
Sounds like you'd be out of there before 1 or 2 in the morning.
Well, yeah.
so be it.
There's some presentations will be made. So you know, downtown Fredericton will be there. Sabian is there.
Oh wow.
Sabian cymbals, yeah.
Lair Gay from Los Cabos Drumsticks is there. I mean, world class brands that we have right in our backyard
Yeah.
that are
100%.
community based and true to their roots. Look at Sabian, how long they've been there, never left
Yeah.
Meductic.
because of community.
Yeah.
Good old Meductic.
So you know, our mayor Kate Rogers will be
Good.
there with some words in a presentation. So yeah, there's a
That's-
lot of folks.
That's
great job.
phenomenal. That's
Yeah.
well deserving too. So it's well deserving to have a good turnout for such an icon. Tony's Music Box. We're here with Mike George, the owner of Tony's Music Box. Closed after 50 years in operation, and a tribute being put on, organized by Norm Couturier, who's here with us too. And it's just a star-studded lineup that'll be taking place at the Fredericton Playhouse on Friday, January the 23rd. So it's just going to be a very, very special,
Very exciting.
very exciting, very special.
I'm
And
well up inside just thinking about it. And all that Norm and Sue, your wife, and
Yes.
of course Pete
Well,
Stafford and
that-
Jeff Melanson.
Yeah, well,
Pete,
that's
yeah,
one thing
Jeff.
I do want to mention, because you know we keep saying, yeah, I started the fire,
Right.
You know, by but it doesn't go without the great help of
Yeah.
some great people around me. So I
Yeah.
remember I went to Peter Stafford.
oh, yeah, Pete.
Peter, you know, River Jam, you know, Harvest. He's been
Yeah,
a
great
creator,
human being.
of great, you know, community events, and a great human being. You're right, Mike. And I went to him. I said, Peter, I need to run this idea by you so you can tell me if I'm crazy or not, because he's a good mentor that way, because he's organized a lot of things, and I've done some in the past. So I told him the idea, and all he said to me was, I'm in. What can I do? That was it. He was on. So we knew we had something. So
the love. Look at the love.
Yeah.
eh?
So he's been helping out, jumping in. Great mentor. You know, good advice sharing, ideas, putting the show together. And then I needed some assistance on, you know, the audio stuff and getting the stage laid out and the music gear and so on. So I called up Jeff Melanson.
Mm-hmm.
And Jeff, he's one of those unsung heroes. Gives from behind the curtain, behind the camera. Always there, always helping, always making sure
Another tremendous
the
human being.
events go off, and he doesn't want any of the limelight, so he's getting some now.
He is.
But yeah, he said, yeah, you just count me in. Anything, I don't care what anything, people, gear, whatever. And he's just been right by my side. I talk to him pretty much every day since, and we're just constantly
Fantastic.
putting things together and sharing ideas. And that's all he wants to do is help. So fantastic. And you couldn't be surrounded by better people. Then my wife puts up with me and got involved and started, you know, sharing ideas. You know, she's, you know, a great soundboard too. So between the four of us, we're just kind of crafting this little thing, polishing it till it turned into something
It's
we
not
think is
very
gonna be
little.
pretty neat.
It's
No,
epic.
it's not little
No.
anymore. But yeah, it's been super rewarding. But yeah, it couldn't be done without those fantastic individuals just coming to the call, just with both feet in.
And why, to both of you, question, why do you think Tony's Music Box, why do you think it's so special? Like, why, what's your reflection on that?
Okay, I'll tell you that from my perspective as a first-time customer. I'm not a Frederictonian. You know, river runs through the small town. You know, I came here from St. John thinking, what do you mean north side, south side, and way over there, and that sort of. So I never did understand those references when I first moved here. But I had the fortune of running a number of IT companies, so I was traveling all over North America, and everywhere I'd go into a new town on business, I'd always seek out the music stores and the secondhand shops that sold music gear, and I would just scour the halls looking for cool stuff.
Yeah.
And I bought a lot of cool stuff. And I lived in Australia for a while, frequented a handful of music stores when I was there in Sydney, and I lived in Moncton for a long time. But when I moved to Fredericton, I remember walking into Tony's the first time, I met Mike, and there was a handshake, and it was like, "Who are you? Where are you from?" "Well, yeah, glad that you could come in here." And I think I was probably 45 minutes, my first trip in there, and I bought some stuff. But I walked out of there with a whole different feeling. It's like I walked into Old Home Week.
Wow.
And it was my first time in the store. Didn't feel like a store.
And that was different probably from all the others.
It's different. It was different than everything.
Wow.
And the folks, I remember, meeting
The other places
Ross.
just felt like they were transactional, but
They were stores.
when you walked in Tony's,
Yeah.
it was...
there are other stores even around here, not too
Right.
far, that you walk into. There's nice people in there. But at the end of the day, you walk out, it's exactly transactional, just like you say. I bought my thing, and I laughed. But I go to Tony's, and it was like, this is different. And the people that work there, and the excellence in customer service, and I go way, it's not customer service, it's treating you like familyness that exuded from the top down, and everybody that worked there operated in that same, you're here,
culture.
I'm just happy that you're here.
That's right.
And yeah, you might buy some stuff, but that's not the important thing right now. The important thing is that you're here.
Yeah.
And that was all. You never felt like you had to buy something, but you bought it anyway.
you were treated you were a person, not necessarily a customer.
You were part of the Tony's family.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of people talk about that. They say
Yeah.
those words. They just acted like that all the time. They didn't have to say it. They just operated like that. And I remember bringing coffee. I called that down to the store,
Yeah.
and I'd tell him, like, "Who's working there today?" And he'd say,
Sure
"Who
did.
needs coffee? What do you need in it?" Everybody like chocolate chip cookies.
Right.
I'm over here
Or
at the chess
muffins
piece.
or
I'm
whatever,
picking-
donuts
and I
or
come
whatever
with a
you
load
did.
of stuff just to hand out, just because I wanted to, because I felt you guys gave so much. You just how you feel when you're in the store. So I wanted to give some of that back. It was
Wow.
it's
It's
incredible.
like going to grandma's.
Yeah.
Exactly.
just to
That
feel and
molasses
sense
cake.
the energy that you guys have,
Yeah.
the excitement that you have just for the tribute show. I'd really like to see maybe where this could go in the future. Who knows what this could grow into, and bringing people together and reuniting and
Yeah.
whatnot. So maybe we talk a little bit about that in the third segment, and then
Yeah.
like we say, next steps and how we feel about everything, and some of the trials and tribulations of being an employer and a small business person, and working your way through that when we come back. So we're going to come back in just a few minutes.
Hi there. Welcome back to the Carr Brothers Show. It's episode 156. I'm Jack.
And I'm Jeff. And Jack, we've had a really exciting show so far. Inspiring,
Yes.
energetic, and everything that goes along with it. It's just been a lot of information, a lot of discussion, a lot of excitement, and you can tell Norm as he set up this the tribute coming up that you've been able to talk to a lot of people you haven't talked to before, meet new friends that you've known or not quite known that well, and just the excitement of the camaraderie of I think and the family atmosphere of the industry itself. Music brings people together, makes them happy, obviously. So it's been quite exciting. I can't imagine what the night of the tribute would be like when all those folks are there reuniting and they all have stories to tell. And
We asked Norm why he thought Tony's Music Box was so special, and now we'll give you an opportunity, Mike. What do you think the formula? Why is Tony's? You're hearing all these stories and this inspiration
and your thoughts are a good basis for advice for new entrepreneurs.
So making that personal connection is key.
Yeah.
So any business, we need customers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whether you're selling a tangible product or a personal service, you have to have customers. And you need to earn their loyalty, provide a product or the service that's going to meet their needs. You qualify their needs when they call you or darken your doors. You establish a healthy relationship with them, provide them with something that's going to sit in their heart for hopefully years to come, and that's honesty and integrity, and just care for them, care for your customers, and just building a friendship, as Norm has tapped on in so many words. I mean, to me, that's what it's all about. Is you come into the store or you call me, we're not rushing you. We pay attention to what your needs are. We establish that friendship, and just we talk about, it could be your dog, it could be a flight you took or a trip you took. It's not just all about coming in and making that transaction. Who are you? Who are we at Tony's? And we become friends.
Yeah.
And you might not always hang out together, but there's an internal friendship that has been developed. It's warm and fuzzy. And when you come back in the store again, hopefully I call you by name. My dad was great at that. I try to pride myself in doing the same, and sometimes the brain processing isn't always perfect.
Yeah.
But you are a person, a human being that comes into our store, and we want to serve you with the best quality service we can provide, and make it meaningful.
Yeah.
You have to make it meaningful.
Well, I remember a lot of times when I'd rent equipment, come on a Friday afternoon, pick up what I needed, and then, and then drop it off on Monday. The odd time it ended up being Tuesday. But anyhow, I had some forgiveness.
Was there forgiveness? Hopefully.
There always was.
Good.
And but it was always, had the event go. And Hal and yourself and Carl all the times, but it was a lot of times Hal and you, but and Carl. But how'd it go? How so interested to know,
of course,
to want to see the success. And it wasn't always success of how many seats were filled and things, but just the experience. And I'd share it because when you're with like-minded people, you got to share it with people that are interested to know. And but it was always a great experience. And so you hit it right on the nail about the relationships, about family and friends.
It's simple. It's a simple formula. That's all it takes.
Spend time understanding people's lives a little bit.
Right.
Just invest a little time with them, and they'll invest back.
I mean, I mentioned about even talking about someone's dog. Like, I have customers that come in the store, bring in their dogs, because I genuinely, and I love dogs, showed interest about their dogs, and then they start bringing them in, and 3 weeks later they bring the dogs in again, and 6 weeks later, and then
next thing you know, the dog's learning to play the banjo.
A treat in their pocket. What's that?
That's the next thing you know, the dog is learning to play the banjo,
or wagging their tail and playing the bass drum.
Exactly.
But it's
well, and I think you hit it right. One of the very first things you said at the beginning is, and that started with being passionate about gear, passionate about equipment and instruments and things. But isn't that one of the key parts of the formula is being passionate about what you do?
100%.
And then that it's not just a job. Has never been just a job.
It's infectious.
Yeah.
When customers come in and see you're excited about something.
Yeah.
I mean, and as you go through the business, you learn about other product too. But if I focused in the keyboard department, because that was my main thing, but I mean, I could help you with PA and many other things. But, but if you come in and you say, I'm looking for such and such, we get an idea. I'll show you the 4 or 5 or 6 or 10 items of products that might fit to that need. And I am excited about it, and I'm enthusiastic, and I get into it, and look, and it can do this, and you want to be careful on information overload. I mean, you can lose a customer too.
Yeah.
So you learn that along the way, but just being excited about it, and listen to this, and look, it can do this, or the sound quality of this, and if you tie it in with this, you can do this as well, and make a little system out of it, and
magic happens.
It is magic. It is magical.
Well, and you mentioned about 60 staff over the years, and
that's correct.
I know obviously you can't mention all 60, but
I could.
There you go.
Almost.
He probably could.
Almost.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, you could.
Yeah.
But some of them you mentioned the longer standing, like you mentioned Hal earlier, and some others that people are, of course,
Hal
familiar
Pinnell was with us for just shy of 30 years. I mean, if that's not loyalty, And I'm
commitment.
blessed to have staff like that, because you don't want to have turnover either.
It's
In
hard.
an industry like we were in, there's always learning. And
Yeah.
I mean, you got to learn about the product.
Yeah.
You learn about
The people.
within the industry who your suppliers are, and those relationships as well. Those are important.
Right.
It's, customers, that's first and foremost, because without them, we don't have a business. So then we establish good relationships with our suppliers and sales reps and so on. So having Hal there for 30 years, I mean, he got to know the same people I got to know, customer-wise and company-wise, and the industry, etc. Carl Gans,
Carl, yeah.
35 years,
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
right up
Wow.
till just a little over a year ago. My mom looked after the office for a number of years.
And
I was telling
Rose is her name.
Rosemary George. My dad's Tony George.
Yep.
So I was telling Norm a few days ago. So my mom had to go into surgery. This is way back. And we asked a neighbor from where we lived, who we knew well enough, and said, can you take care of the books? Mom asked her. Edith Landry is her name. So she worked there for like 17 years.
Oh, wow.
And then we had another lady come in, because it was
Started-
retirement. It was
started
retirement
as just
time.
a few days to
Oh, yeah.
fill in.
It was retirement time for Edith. So Susan Goodine came in and worked with us for about 5 years, and then she went back to another job. My sister Terry, who
Yes.
worked also at the store for 30-some
Yes,
years.
Terry, yes.
Yeah.
So Terry George, my oldest sister, people come in and she might say, who do you think's older, Michael or me?
Yeah.
So Terry's the oldest sister,
Yeah.
oldest of the family, of the 4 kids that Mom and Dad had. But she called Edith up after Susan gave us her notice and said, would you be interested in working at the store again? And she did.
Wow.
And she'd be in her 70s, I would say, or very late 60s, but she did it for a number of years again, which I do forget exactly. And I was saying to Norm, I mean, even in her later years, we went through different POS systems that required training for some of the younger folks and some of the mid-aged folks like myself, and then some of the more elderly like Edith, and she latched on to all of that.
Wow.
No problem. But just different staff. I mean, Jason Saunier, who was with us right up to the end, he was with us for 15 years. Austin Edwards, up to the end, with us for like 12, if I get that right. And Matthew Blanchard, who was with us for 10 years roughly,
Wow.
right up to the end.
Yeah.
And he worked under Dave Palmer, who
Oh, yes.
Dave, who Norm, of course, referenced. He was a guru in our service department. We were blessed to have him. And Matt learned a lot under him and is running his own business now in service for anyone that wants
right.
to get their guitar serviced.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Look up Matthew Blanchard.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good to know. And Norm, the proceeds to this show, it's a free will offering. Give what you can, and that goes towards the Tony's Transition Fund. A lot of it's closing costs and things.
Yeah.
It costs money to close a business and the support and things like that. And I think that's a worthwhile fund to put that towards. Yeah, great idea.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very moved by that.
Yeah, I bet.
Remarkable.
Yeah. It'll be emotional for you. I mean, it is now, but Friday night's going to be.
It has been since Norm brought it to my attention. Like,
Yeah.
I can't get my head wrapped around
No.
it. That how a human being that's already busy enough, running 2 companies and everything else that you do that I don't even know about,
Yeah.
and taking this on, and with the team effort, as we've discussed with your lovely wife Sue and Pete Stafford and Jeff Melanson and just everybody that's involved, is like, whoa, this is crazy.
And do you have any stories or anything that sort of comes to mind that Tony's Music Box sort of rose to the challenge, or the staff or the team, or something that happened, and something that's memorable? Or
Do you
that's,
have a couple of weeks? It would take a long time.
Do you have
There's a
any?
lot of great experiences.
well,
But watching musicians grow, I mean, there's so many. If I were to focus on 1 or 2, it doesn't
Do justice.
eliminate
Yeah.
the other ones. They're not as important. They're very important. Everything's important that happens at Tony's Music Box to me.
Yeah.
But watching someone like Connor Fox,
yeah,
who came in our store with his dad, who is Shane Fox. Shane's a great guitar player, and would bring Connor into the store, and I might have it off a little bit. We did talk about it a few days ago,
Yeah.
but I'm thinking 10 years old, and doing a little soloing, jamming along with Shane playing rhythm guitar, And what started small turned into a regular Saturday visit
Wow.
for Shane and Connor. Shane would do his thing. We'd be seeing Connor grow. Oh, my gosh. This is a week later. And then another week later. And then because there's traffic just coming to the store for their own reasons, customers are coming in, all of a sudden exposed to this great talent that this 10-year-old is presenting to us. Week after week after week, some of these people that were coming in for their own thing were actually coming in now to see Connor and his dad Shane play guitar. And it's like,
Wow.
whoa, look at this kid.
Look at him now.
So,
Yeah.
and then it could be someone that young. I still remember an elderly lady that came in the store. Sorry, I can't think of her name. Why am I drawing a blank? I'll get that later. Maybe I'll just come out. But she was on in her years. Like she was in her 80s, and a very tasty piano player. And she'd come in and grace us with her great piano playing
Wow.
many times, like 2 or 3 times a month, like regularly, or more than that sometimes. And one in particular time, there was another lady customer in the store and just kind of standing back, taking all of this in. And she started to weep because of the emotion that was being played on the piano. Like, she wasn't this wild, crazy player, just a nice, tasty player.
Wow.
So things like that sit with you and it's meaningful. Trying out gear, like customers that might be moved by something within the instrument or the technology, and it's like, oh. I still have I don't want to elaborate because I know we're on short time here, but
Yeah.
I remember a lady coming in trying an acoustic piano, but it had technology merged with it. It's a hybrid piano.
Wow.
And she wept because of the setup that I had going on for her and what that did for her musically and internally for her.
Yeah.
Crazy. But there's so many.
Yeah.
I mean, it's you coming in and buying that first instrument or second instrument or 10th instrument, and that's a great story. You're a repeat customer. Thanks so much for your great support. And just coming in and saying hi, just being part of our environment. That's meaningful.
Well, and I guess you could tag on to that. We've only got about a minute or so. But I guess all the your loyal customers and watching, what would you say to them?
Thank you. Tremendous. Thanks for the years of support. Thanks for your friendship. Thanks for your love. Just the embrace and those great handshakes and great hugs that we've had. Hopefully we meet up again and can keep that going somehow.
Well, that's the next question is what your plans are, I guess, in the future. But maybe there'll be a book in store of these stories or something.
Well,
I guess never know.
I better start getting writing in.
Yes, sir.
Norm, real quick, a couple seconds. Any parting words?
Just that you're thanking all the people for coming in your store. I think the entire town is going to show up Friday thanking you for being there to create that environment for everybody to share that energy and experiences.
Well,
Sure.
thank you for making it happen, Norm.
Well, that's very
Love
well said.
It's going to be
there.
a beautiful night.
Yep.
Yeah, very well said, and I'm sure your parents will be smiling.
Yes,
and very
they're
proud
both
of
gone.
You and your family.
Yes.
Tony and Rose, and it's just going to be a great night. So thanks for both of you for coming on the show.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you
us.
very much for having us.
Appreciate it.
It's lovely. Love it.
It's been great to have you. And we, Jeff, let's thank our viewers of the Carr Brothers Show. We're on CHCO TV on any home in New Brunswick that has cable. Roger Shaw and Bell, and on our YouTube channel too. So we'd appreciate if people shared and like and subscribe to our channel. So we'll
That's right.
send it over to you, Jeff.
Well, that's just about says it all right there, Jack. You did a great job. Wonderful to have these guests with us tonight. And when we started the show, this is what we wanted to focus on: is local stories, local heroes, inspiration, positivity, and this one has knocked it out of the park.
Yes.
So thank you, gentlemen, for being here and help us do
Very
that.
welcome. Thank you again.
And we will
Much
see you
appreciate
next
the
week.
opportunity.
Oh, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Yep.
We'll see you next week right here on CHCO.
See you next time.